Hey guys, Stitches here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Plants vs. Zombies. Last time we beat the daytime section, and we're moving on to the nighttime section, level 2-1. After surviving an all-out attack against the zombies. One peculiar thing I do want to point out about the title screen is the implication is that this is your house. This concept art here doesn't actually make sense for how the house is laid out. Because of like the fact they would just be able to walk up this way. So I don't know. It's just weird. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. Evening, Stitches. Those zombies just won't let up, will they? You'll notice that fighting zombies at night is different than in the day. For one, you won't get any sun that falls from the sky. You can still get sun from sunflowers, though. And lucky for you, you got yourself some puff shrooms. Plant as many of those as you can, and you'll be A-O good. What is this newspaper? It just says zombies on it. So one thing you may also notice is if you look up in the right, you'll see gravestones here, and they're different from the background. This is a new game mechanic that I'll show off in a second. So the nighttime, like Crazy Dave said, doesn't generate any sun, so you do need a sun producing plant unless you plan to only rely on these. Puff shrooms are considered by far the best plant in the game overall. Main reason being that they are free and you can plant pretty much as many of them as you want without actually taking a negative impact on your sun. There is a drawback to them that does come up in the next level set, so I won't talk about it now because we haven't gotten that far yet, but right now I'm trying to pick what plants we actually need. Just gonna swap those around. Try to pick cheaper plants on the night levels. It makes the game easier. But here's the new gimmick, being gravestones. Gravestones will randomly spawn on the map at the start of a level. And they just kind of sit there. You can't plant on them, and in this game you cannot attack them. Anyway, if we plant the puff shroom here, you'll notice it takes a second for it to attack because it can only attack in the 3 spaces in front of it. This is one of the drawbacks of it. The other one is an environmental based drawback, so I am not talking about it yet. But for the time being, we actually can't do anything about these gravestones. You can't even grave rob. Also, there's new music. I do love this music. I forget what this song is called. The only song I remember in my head for this game is there's a song called Loon Boon, which is for mini games. Oh, these guys suck. So this is a newspaper zombie. They have a shield, meaning the zombie actually won't take damage from direct projectile hits for a little bit. And then after this dude's shield is destroyed, he'll actually... speed up quite a bit. And he's a little fast, but you can deal with them fairly simply. Just in case anybody gets through there. Pea shooters do kind of suck a little bit because they're so expensive now. And like the other two types of pea shooters are just out of the question right now. So during these waves, zombies actually rise out of the graves. So, you know, there we go. And we got a new plant. The Sun Shroom. Gives a small amount of sun at first, and then normal sun later. It costs half the cost of a sunflower, and it's actually pretty decent. Hey, you've collected $300 in coins so far. When you collect $750, I'll sell you something really neato. There's actually an alternate version of that cutscene that's really hard to get, but it is possible, where he'll actually sell you the goods right away. It just cuts to the other half of that cutscene. So, you know. Yeah, so one thing I do have to say is that the mushroom plants, a lot of people don't like because mushrooms actually aren't plants. Anyway. I guess we'll go with this lineup. I typically use the graves as the marker for where my front line is. So, like, for example, I'll pretty much go and plant a puff shroom right up at this grave right away. So, notice, these guys only give 15 sun each right now. They will give you a normal size sun later, as the game told you. However, they're so easy to plant so many of that they're just kind of better than sunflowers in some regards. There is a later mechanic in the game that makes sunflowers actually kind of better. It's a mechanic that actually just gets removed in Plants vs. Zombies 2 entirely. But yeah, the thing with these puff shrooms as well that makes them really good is they recharge really fast. So you can really just kind of crank them out as much as you want. If you're curious as to why the mouse cursor keeps changing sizes, I actually have no idea what causes that. That's just a weird thing, is for whatever reason this game has its like own cursor sprite. But yeah, you'll see now these guys are actually already starting to grow. Getting through. Well, they were. I think it's actually only on the final wave where they show up. Oops, that's a problem if I ever saw it. I don't think I actually checked which zombies were in this level. It shows you on the right. I think I've explained that before, but it shows you on like the right-hand side at the start of the round. When, like, what zombies actually are coming in this level. It makes it a little easier to plan. I don't know if that's supposed to be rust or blood. It looks like blood on the bucket. I think I planted that there too late. Fuck. Oh well, it's not a big deal. And don't feel like you can't place puff shrooms in uneven places. Like, you can start placing them, like, right here. They'll just get eaten very fast. But because they're free, they're the most expendable plants in the game. So, you know, I wouldn't be afraid to do that. And don't be afraid to dig them up either. You can upgrade past past the puff shrooms. And you should be, because, like, you know. I'm also not sure if the puff shrooms do any less damage than a pea shooter. I think they do the same amount of damage. They might do less as, like, a trade-off. But I'm honestly not super sure. Honestly, we probably could have done repeaters for this level. But yeah, you'll notice from this point on, coins are actually dropping significantly more. I think that's an actual programming flag to check in this specific set of levels in the nighttime section of the game, that I think it's actually programmed I'll just do that. I love how pissed off this dude sounds. Jeez, he ate through the whole walnut. That's fine, we'll kill him though. And now we get one of my favorite plants in this game, just because, like, it looks so weird. It's the Fume Shroom. It shoots fumes that could pass through screen doors. It mentions screen doors, but actually this is just any shield. So fume shrooms are kind of like puff shrooms, but like the upgraded form, if that makes sense. These guys do shoot through, they only shoot in short range, but they actually, shoot every single zombie in that range. This is also weirdly only a feature on the PC version, is you can scroll over, or you can, put your mouse over these. Bereft of life, that's funny. In Plants vs. Zombies 2, you can actually kill the gravestones with any damaging plant. In this game, you need a specific plant, which does interestingly show up in Plants vs. Zombies 2, but with a completely changed design for some reason. In this game, the plant has the look of petrified wood, whereas Plants vs. Zombies 2 gives it an ivy-type look. I do apologize if the gameplay ever seems kind of repetitive. I will try to, like, do some gimmicky stuff, but I am ultimately trying to do all the levels in a single try. For the sake of just making the recording process easy. But, you know. I forgot. These guys actually shoot 4 squares. Yeah, so you see, they're actually damaging the zombie this time. Plants vs. Zombies 2 really does introduce like a wide variety of plants, since I think there's over 100 plants in Plants vs. Zombies 2. Anyway, here's that plant I was talking about. This is the Grave Eater. What's it called? Grave Buster. This shows up in Plants vs. Zombies 2, but with a new design. In this, it's themed around petrified wood, I think, but in Plants vs. Zombies 2, it's actually more themed around a type of ivy that grows around stone. Additionally, in Plants vs. Zombies 2, graves can actually be attacked by any and all plants. Hey, want to buy an extra seed slot? It'll cost you $7.50, but you'll be able to choose 7 seeds per level instead of 6. I'll do it. Alright, and hey, when you save up to 5,000, I'll sell you the 8 seed slot upgrade. Check you later. So now we can pick a whole extra plant. There's only 3 of those in the game, since I think you go up to 9. But I might be wrong. So the Grave Buster is actually pretty good because it gives you money actually when you destroy the grave. So, and I'm probably going to call it the Grave Eater a lot, even though that's not what it's actually called. I think I'm going to stop picking the cherry bomb just because it feels kind of cheap at times, so... Plus, we've seen it so many times, and I do the same thing with it. So yeah, see here, like here's where graves start to get uncomfortable, because you only have 5 spaces before it gets to your back row. And I haven't shown it yet, but you do have these lawnmowers, so if a zombie actually gets up to one, the lawnmower will actually destroy any zombie in the row. But yeah, so this in Plants vs. Zombies 1 works, but in Plants vs. Zombies 2, this doesn't work. Also, puff shrooms disappear after a certain period of time in Plants vs. Zombies 2. It was a weird way to try to make them balanced because they're still, like, free in that game. So here's what the Grave Buster does. It'll take a little bit, but it slowly eats the grave, and when it does, you get a coin from it. I personally try to make it my goal to eliminate all the graves in a level. It's not necessary by any means, though, to do so. It's just kind of a fun little thing to do. And you do have to be careful, because these guys can get eaten and interrupted mid-process, which makes removing these graves harder too. So what I think is a good idea is actually to put puff shrooms rather close to, like, the graves you're trying to get rid of. Because it makes it so that zombies will die still and take damage, so there's less likely of a chance that your eating process gets interrupted. One of those there. Oh, wait. I also think in a beta of this game, the Gravebuster actually made the same eating sound that the zombies do. But yeah, the Gravebuster is actually a good way to get money. Just realized I picked up the Snow Pea and I'm not even, like, using it. And it's funny because I got the amount of sun production. To use it. You can just put mushrooms in front of those guys. They'll try to jump them. That's another reason why puff shrooms are good. It stops these guys, and they also buy a few seconds, because although they have a low amount of HP, they do tank the hits. So, you know, and then that happens. Bro just slurped him up. Like, if I wanted to, I can now start, like, replacing these. It's not super worth it this late into the round now, but I mean, I guess it helps to get some range damage in. Also, these guys are just pretty good. In Plants vs. Zombies 2, they actually introduced a typing system tied to a specific type of plant called mint. And they're all puns. So these guys are actually a part of the spearmint group because they do piercing damage. Plants vs. Zombies 2 has a lot of mechanics because it's been concurrently worked on over time, and they still update the game, I think, to this day, even though I think the third one's out. I personally don't really have an interest in playing the third one because, one, I never actually beat the second one. The second one has a lot of levels in it compared to this one. And it's because it was expanded over the course of time. So, you know. Jeez, this video is actually getting long. Anyway, here we get the almanac. The Suburban Almanac keeps track of all plants and zombies you encounter. And this is interesting because this actually forces you to view the almanac. So really quick, we'll go through the almanac. So the pea shooter, this just gives like flavor text and stuff. For your plants. So you have the pea shooter. Pea shooters are your first line of defense. They shoot peas at attacking zombies. They have a normal damage rating. They cost 100 sun and they recharge fast. I'm really only going to be reading the almanac exclusive stuff. But yeah. How can a single plant grow and shoot so many peas so quickly? Pea shooter says. How can I'm reading this wrong. How can a single plant grow and shoot so many peas so quickly? Pea shooter says, hard work, commitment, and a healthy, well-balanced breakfast of sunlight and high-fiber carbon dioxide makes it all possible. Sunflower. Sunflowers are essential for you to produce extra sun. Try planting as many as you can. Sunflower can't resist bouncing to the beat. Which beat is that? Why, the life-giving jazzy rhythm of the earth itself, thumping at the frequency only Sunflower can hear. Cherry Bomb. I want to explode, says Cherry Bomb number 1. No, let's detonate instead, says his brother. Or Cherry 2. After intense consultation, they agree to explodinate. People wonder how I feel about getting constantly chewed on by zombies, says Walnut. What they don't realize is that with my limited senses, all I can feel is a kind of tingling, like a relaxing back rub. Some folks say Potato Mine is lazy, that he leaves everything to the last minute. Potato Mine says nothing. He's too busy thinking about his investment strategy. Folks often tell Snowpea how cool he is, or exhort him to chill out. They tell him to stay frosty. Snowpea just rolls his eyes. He's heard them all. Chomper almost got Chomper almost got a gig doing stunts for the Little Shop of Horrors, but it fell through when his agent demanded too much on the front end. Chomper's not resentful, though. He just says it's part of the business. That's so ridiculous that they were... Because, like, that's... Hold on. If I remember right, that's a reference to, like, a movie or a show. It's a movie. It's such a weird thing for them to reference in this game. Like, I get the reference, but... Repeater is fierce. He's from the streets. He doesn't take attitude from anybody, plant or zombie, and he shoots peas to keep people at a distance. Secretly, though, Repeater yearns for love. Oh, I guess I'll talk about it now. But really quick. I only recently became aware of the existence of zombies, says Puffshroom. Like many fungi, I just assumed they were fairy tales or movie monsters. This whole experience has been a huge eye-opener for me. So you'll notice it says sleeps during the day in purple text, and it says this here and here as well. Not Gravebuster, but there's no reason to ever use a Gravebuster. This applies to specifically mushroom type plants. And I think this is an interesting thing Basically, it means that your mushroom plants actually won't be useful on daytime levels. Later in the game, you get the ability to use them, but they require a, they require a different plant to be used that costs 75 sun, so it's not really worth it except for a few instances. Sun shrooms give small sun at first, then normal sun later. Interestingly, it seems like they intended for there to be more sun producers in the game, but these are the only two, with the exception of one other plant that I don't really count, just because of the way it works. But these two are really the only sun producers in the game. Sunshroom hates sun. He hates it so much that when he builds it up in his system, he spits it out as fast as he can. He just won't abide it. To him, sun is crass. I was in a dead-end job producing yeast spores for a bakery, says Fume Shroom. Then Pushroom, bless him, told me about this great opportunity blasting zombies. Now I really feel like I'm making a difference. Despite Gravebuster's fearsome appearance, he wants everyone to know that he loves kittens and spends his off hours volunteering at a local zombie rehabilitation center. It's just the right thing to do, he says. So yeah, we'll be done with that for now. We'll look at the zombie one in the next one, but this video is getting quite long, so I just want to finish this last level and we'll pick it up there. Ever play a game called Whack-A-Zombie? It's just like hunting squirbows. You know, those furry little rodents that dig holes in your lawn? Yeah, it's just like that, but instead of squirbows, it's zombies. Instead of a shovel, it's a mallet. Instead of me, it's you! I forgot about the voice. This is a different type of level. So this is pretty much just a whack-a-mole game. You click the zombies. My cursor is that hammer. And some zombies will actually drop sun. And this will let you be able to eliminate graves. Though graves will start spawning in. I believe this is the song called Loon Boon, but I might be wrong. But yeah, the main goal I like to try to do is do that. The cone ones take 2 hits, and the bucket heads, if they show up in this one, take 3. I personally like to limit them to the top few rows. You can plant potato mines, but I honestly just prefer to bust the graves because it actually gives you more cash for it. Oh, there they are. They also move at variable speeds. But yeah, that's it for that. It's a pretty fast level, but I like it. Anyway, that gets us the Hypno Shroom, and that also gets us a fucking 42-minute video, so... Exiting to the main menu now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, you should hit the like. If you liked the video, you should subscribe. Hit that like button, also the bell icon so you get notifications. If you want to see more content from me, my Twitter is in the description. There's also my Twitch where I stream, and you can also support the content I make with $3 minimum donations to my Ko-fi link in the description. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.